Thanks for joining us for another Tantrum House crowdfunding conniption. Today we're looking at floating floors from Guf Studios.
And as always, we want to make sure that you're aware that our crowdfunded videos are sponsored in part by our own Kickstarter backers, as well as by the creators of this game. Hey gang, thanks for joining us at Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows. Today we're looking at floating floors from Guf Studios. It's from designer Takashi Sawada.
This is a 2 to 4 player, 3-dimensional game where you're going to be building platforms and then navigating them. It's coming to Kickstarter soon, and we were given this prototype copy in order to check out, give you guys a good look at it, help you get a look and a feel for how the game is played. We're not going to actually be sharing any opinions in this video, but we want to make sure that you can make an informed decision when you consider becoming a backer. Let's take a look at how it's played.
To set up the game, create the map for your player account using the terrain cards and give each player their tokens.
In turn order, players will place their chakra and ninja in an alcove around the edge of the map.
The Bansen tokens are shuffled and randomly placed in the other available alcoves, and then you're ready to begin.
On their turn, players will first acquire jutsu by rolling the dice and taking jutsu from the supply or from above or below a floorboard.
Then they may place jutsu on any land space, and then they may place a floorboard on top of the jutsu.
They may then move their ninja orthogonally along the floorboard spaces of their color. If they encounter a space of opposite color, they may place a jutsu and stand on it in order to pass through.
Once a player lands on a space adjacent to their Bansen seal, they may claim it by rotating the floorboard 90 degrees in the correct direction.
Once Bansen is gained, it can be spent to rotate any floorboard your ninja is on.
If at any time the floorboard collapses to touch the terrain, or a ninja or jutsu is dropped and they hit the terrain, the player's turn ends immediately.
The next player then gets to rearrange all of the components however they'd like.
Play continues with players gaining jutsu and moving their ninja stealthily along the floorboards, and the first player to collect all of their Bansen seals wins.
All of the secrets of your ninja clan are contained in your Bansen seal, which has been stolen and randomly distributed around the board, and you have to be the first to reclaim it in this dexterity strategic movement game that's coming to Kickstarter.
In the game, you are trying to get your ninja to move to those seals and collect them. However, those floorboards along the terrain are floating, so you have to be able to make sure that when you are moving, your ninja does not fall or destroy the floorboards.
Right, it's an interesting mix because you'll be rolling the dice each time to gain tokens that you'll be using to support those cards. Some of those tokens are not the most stable shapes, although I guess technically a triangle is the most stable shape, but anyway, it doesn't always hold the corner of your card just right. And so you will be rolling dice using those each turn. Sometimes if you have leftover pieces or if you manage to be conservative in your placement of tokens, you can actually keep your colored tokens from round to round, which may give you a heads up or an opportunity to slip in an extra tile or something later in the game as you get closer to your seal.
Yes, and when you take your actions after gaining the jutsu for your turn, you can take as many actions as you like. You're not limited just the 5 that we listed in the overview. You can just keep playing until you either can't do anything else or until you get a penalty.
Yeah, and if you run out of pieces or run out of turns or decide to end your turn, then it just moves on to the next player, and they'll be doing the same things, trying to hop around, move their pieces strategically along the edges, flip those cards to the side that are most valuable to their movement, and ultimately get to the edge of the board where they then get, in order to claim a seal, you have to actually pick up your tile with all the pieces on it, not drop into anything, rotate it 90, whichever direction your seal shows, and then that allows you to actually collect the token.
Yep, and then as he said, you can spend it later to rotate any tile. If a player suffers a penalty, the next player in line, if it's a 2-player game, it's just the other player, the next player in line will get to reconfigure that tile and the jutsu. So if they don't need to go over there, they could make it very difficult or almost impossible to have your figure stand on certain sections of it. So that can be something that could be devastating in the game if you don't manage to move your ninja in a way where you stay on top of the floorboards.
Now, when you play the game as a 2-player game, you're obviously kind of just racing against each other. It's possible to really not interact that much with each other depending on where those tokens go, and then it's just a matter of can you hop there faster and can you not knock those things over. When you play as a 3 or 4-player game, you'll be playing with another player on your color. You're not on a team or anything like that, but you have the potential to be able to hop on their spaces a little bit more, to get in each other's way, to take up spaces on the board that you wouldn't need, that you wouldn't be able to get to. And so you do have a little bit more congestion, which in this game is a good thing when you have a 3 or 4-player game.
So if you enjoy dexterity or strategic movement games, then check out Floating Floors on Kickstarter from Guf Studios. And as always, thank you for sharing, liking, and subscribing to our channel here at Tantrum House.
All of the secrets of your ninja clan are stored in your Bansen seal.
I botched it every time. It never fails.
Jutsu, jutsu. So many words.
That actually wasn't bad.
No? Okay. Seemed kind of rough.
It was a little rough, but it was actually good
It seemed a
information.
little rough.